Sorry about that, everyone. I had to go put my phone in the charger. But, yo, peoples, ladies, and gentlemen, welcome to my reading of Library of Ohara's fan-made Return to the Reverie One Piece chapters. Now, I know that these have been out for a minute. It hasn't been too long since the last chapter of this little mini-series that they made. It's only like 6 chapters long, and the last one just came out in June, so it really hasn't been all that long since these chapters have been out. But I have no idea what to expect because I haven't read a single page ever. Like, I know other people have read it, but I just have never gotten around to actually reading it. But I want to go ahead and just find out what all the hubbub's about. So, brought to you by the Library of Ohara. Here it is, finally, Chapter 1 out of 6 in the Return to the Reverie project, a series of 6 fan-made One Piece chapters. Without further ado, let's get started. And they have a video version, and like a regular drawn version. And I put the link to it in the description, of this stream. So if you guys want to follow along as well, then you guys got access to it. Reminder, you can enlarge any image by clicking on them. Alright, Return to the Reverie, Chapter 1, Winds of Change. And on this first cover page, we have cover page requests, Sengoku and Garp running a farm with lots of animals, goats in particular, by Little Baylet. Little Baylet, Baylet from Berserk. So on this page, you have all these goats here. Some are bothering Sengoku, like one's trying to eat some clothes. Another one's trying to pull on this canister of milk that he has. All the while, Garp is just laughing in the background as he is slamming wooden posts into the ground. I wouldn't be surprised if all these wooden posts that he's put up around this area, he just put in by punching them into the ground. Because, I mean, sure, we've seen him use a hammer, but we all know he's strong enough to literally do this barehanded without any help. But one thing I kind of want to make note of this is the fact that all Sengoku's goat specifically is on a tree stump surrounded by other goats who are bowing around him, and he has a crown on his head similar to that of Im-sama. So I like that little callback there. Story by Arthur and artwork by Professor Gemini. And I gotta say, it looks really good for this not to be drawn by someone who is on Oda's payroll. This looks really good. We return. I wonder if Vinland Ragnar narrated any of these yet. Possibly. Don't know. We return to the events at the Reverie. As to be expected, this year's Reverie was one of many tumultuous? I never know how to say words like that sometimes. Tumultuous events. However, to fully understand what transpired during the week-long conference, we must first go back in time to the second day of the Reverie. And also, I just want to say, hey Ziggy, hey CJ, hey D-Train. It's good to see all of my nakamas here. Captain Kobe has returned to Marine Headquarters. Welcome back, Captain. Please, there's no need for all the fanfare. Hey, I'm here too. And here you have Kobe and Helmeppo coming in. Captain Kobe, the two of you have been summoned. And then Kobe looks over. Oh? Then we got some other person here. As you may be aware, you have been under consideration for a promotion for a while. Your service record since the Rocky Port incident has certainly been exemplary. We will evaluate your efforts and get back to you to inform if you will be promoted. Thank you, sir. Chief of the Marine Promotion Council, Vice Admiral Cancer. As for you, we have taken note of your efforts. Keep it up and you may be promoted eventually. Thank you so much, sir! And Helmeppo is just crying over the prospect of him being promoted. Actually, he says thank you so much, sir, before he beyond what the guy, he says it over him. Helmeppo says, thank you so much, very much, sir, before Vice Admiral Cancer gets it all looking fresh. Oh, thank you, Sensei Nam. I had to get that woolly mammoth shaved off, otherwise my family wouldn't recognize me anymore. They got two different names for me. One where I got hair and one when it's shaved. And I prefer the one when it's shaved because that's the coolest one. But Helmeppo is speaking over Vice Admiral Cancer. And he doesn't notice that he says, keep it up and you may be promoted eventually. And he was like, wait, what? Dismissed. I can't believe it. And here I thought I'd reach the same rank my father had. Keep at it and you'll get there eventually. We both come so far in the last 2 years already, haven't we? Who knows if that will even happen at this rate, though. True, things may get chaotic quite soon. Now that the second day of the conference is over, we're in a delicate situation. If Admiral Fujitora's proposition is accepted in tomorrow's session, then I'm certain we'll have our hands full for a while. Then again, it is an essential step for our plans to come to fruition. Then, at the red port, and I see that's Garp's ship. I already see the dog head on the front. Garp! Garp-kun! I can't do Admiral Hina's voice. Sorry, is Hina interrupting something? No, don't worry about it. Did you need something? Truth is, Hina is curious, in regards to rocks. If you're willing to open up, that is. I can't say I like to talk about it, but since you're already familiar with the details, I suppose there's no harm. I'm surprised you knew so much already, though. Who did you get it from? Tsuru-chan gave me the gist of it, but there are some details that don't make sense. Hina is confused. Mainly, what brought rocks to God Valley? What did he want so desperately that he'd risk it all, including his life? That's a good question, Hina. I've heard some rumors, but the specifics were kept top secret even from me. All I know is that there was something on the island that rocks desired. God Valley, as you might have already heard, was a settlement of celestial dragons. While Marijwa has always been their homeland, some of them opted to live there instead. The luxury and splendor of its capital earned it the name of Emerald City. It was said that what rocks craved slept deep within a massive mausoleum, where no soul was ever allowed to set foot in. Inside was a tomb which was enshrined what the world nobles referred to as the national treasure of God Valley. A hidden treasure? Don't tell me you mean the one— Of course not! Someone once told me that, according to a very old legend, this treasure was the most powerful devil fruit in existence. Ooh, I'm getting hyped just reading this. Yo, Karma, what's going on? I'm getting hyped just reading this. I'm kind of getting Oda vibes from this. This kind of feels like something that Oda would... This gives me the same feeling as reading Oda's actual works. So, Arthur, you already got me invested. Somehow, Rocks came to know the true nature of both this and the national treasure of Marijwa. I don't know how he found out, but to him, those were the only treasures necessary to fulfill his ambitions. Hina is shocked. Are you sure it's okay to talk about this? Everything I just told you is obviously confidential, but at this point it's all redundant. God Valley, its national treasure, and Rocks himself have all been lost to time. On that day, they all sank to Davy Jones' locker. What? The island sank? Is that why Rocks was declared dead? It's no figure of speech either. A great storm inundated the island. Am I going to read all chapters? Yes, all of them. All of them. A great storm inundated the island. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Apologies for my grammar. No one knows where it came from, but Rocks, who was immobilized, sank alongside it all. Oh, that's right. It was you and Roger who took down Rocks and his crew, right? Well, keep this between you and me, but while it is true that Roger helped me defeat him, taking on his entire crew is a whole different story. We already had our hands full with Rocks, not to mention protecting the celestial dragons. To fight his crew as well, even for us, it'd be impossible. For you and Roger? Are you kidding? Of course not. Back then, the Rocks were undeniably the ultimate pirate crew. Fiercest among them were his 4 commanders, Newgate, Linlin, Shiki, and Kaido. They were known as the Four Horsemen. I would not be surprised if that was their name back then. I would not be surprised at all. Haven't read all chapters yet, only the first one. Well, strap in! Strap in! But then, how could you possibly have won? Whitebeard. He felt that his captain's ambition jeopardized both his own dreams and threatened the balance of the world. He stood by his ideals and took our side, fighting the remaining commanders. I would not be surprised if this is something that Whitebeard would do. You got Big Mom, you got Kaido, and you got Shiki. And apparently, during this time, we're going to be here for a while then. Each chapter gets longer and longer. It's a good thing I don't have to go to work until 10 o'clock tonight then. But here we have Big Mom. They're all in shadow, mind you. But Big Mom is walking and she already has a Napoleon. Doesn't look like he's in the form of a hat, though. It might be a small hat the sword is coming out of, but she's carrying Napoleon. I don't know if that is in his cognac form. But you got Kaido, Shiki. You can't really make him out, but Big Mom's there as well. Despite our differing beliefs, on that day we fought as comrades. Everyone went all out, exchanging blows, switching opponents, fighting back to back. The battle that day was the stuff of legends. So here you have Roger going up against Rox, you got Garp going up against Kaido, and you have Whitebeard just soloing both Big Mom and Shiki by himself. Unbelievable to think that something of this scale happened before Hina being born. Hina feels lightheaded. So did that satisfy your curiosity? Actually, there's one more thing. You said you and Rod... Oh, actually, there's one more thing. You said you and Roger protected the Celestial Dragons, but I thought you always despised them. Why did you agree to protect them? After what felt like a never-ending confrontation, the three of us managed to emerge victorious. His crew managed to flee, but Rox himself became one with the sea, taking that legacy with him. On that day, the world was rid of the terror of Rox. Oh wait, that was that whole panel. And then she says, unbelievable, Hina is feeling lightheaded. But I thought you always despised them. Why did you agree to protect them? Because my child was among them. Huh? Huh? Shores of the Red Line. Wait. Does he mean Does he mean dragon? Does he mean dragon? Oh, this is getting interesting. Shores of the Red Line. And here we have the red-haired pirate ship with Lucky Roo. The boss is back. Welcome back, boss. I know that's not Lucky Roo's voice, but that's one I'm gonna stick with. Not gonna lie, I don't like that Whitebeard helped. Something about Roger and Garp defeating the Rox, who had so many strong people in their crew, just sounds better to me. All the reason why that this is a fan-made chapter. So don't worry if it doesn't feel like this is something that would happen in the main manga. This is just fan fiction. So it fits in its own little world. We all know. Now I'm imagining a One Piece version of Nicolas Cage. I'm trying to find someone in the manga right now who fits that description. But I can't. It's Nicolas Cage, though. The boss is back! Welcome back, boss! Yo, sorry to keep y'all waiting. And then, who's this speaking? Is that, Ben Beckman? You're being too reckless sneaking into Marijois on your own. For the boss, it must have been a cakewalk, though. Emperor, captain of the red-haired pirates, red-haired Shanks. Your voice for Lucky Roo is funny. For the boss, it must have been a cakewalk, though. So, did you pull it off? Were you able to talk with the five elders? What did they say about him? Talk, I was able to, but they said they wouldn't want to take action yet. I did insist, but they want to see how the situation pans out first. By the way, boss, did you hear about Big Mom and Kaido? Yeah, we discussed that too. It's precisely this instability amongst the emperors why they're hesitant to act. I doubt we'll be able to count on the government to take action. I told you it was a waste of time to try and reason with the geezers. But aren't you worried about Luffy, boss? He's got 2 emperors on his heels. Don't you think we should lend a hand? We can't meet again until the day he achieves his dream. That's a promise I can't break. Besides, you shouldn't underestimate Luffy. He's grown strong over the years. We shouldn't interfere in his fights. It may be hard, but overcoming this obstacle is part of his journey. Let's focus on our troubles instead. If the government won't take action, then we'll have to do it ourselves. We must stop him, to put an end to Rox's legacy. Get ready to set sail, men. We're going after Blackbeard. Oh, snap! Random question, does anyone know about Wagyu beef? Never heard of it before. But beef anything sounds tasty. Heading up the red line, the second day of the Reverie has already concluded. As the moon gently basks the Holy Land in its light, everyone takes a respite after such a tumultuous day. They're gonna mess me up with that word every single time. Blissfully unaware of the true tumult to come. What are these words? What are these words I've never seen before used in a sentence? Throwing me off. What are these words? Eden City Residential District. We got crows coming in. And Karasu? I want to say Karasu. Wagyu is similar to Kobe beef. Sounds interesting. But then we got some Marijua guards outside. Why are there so many crows flying about recently? This is the first I've seen any in the Holy Land. I once heard that crows are an ill omen of what is to come. Then perhaps we ought to exterminate them. We can't allow anything to disturb the residents. And they all land Karasu. I knew it! It was in the recesses of my brain, but you cannot forget the names of the head captains in the Revolutionary Army. Bello Betty, Morley, Lindbergh, and, Karasu. You cannot forget those names. But Karasu flies up. He doesn't say anything. What's wrong, Karasu? Are you seeing any trouble up there? Oh, are you seeing any trouble up there? And then he sounds like he has like a... You can't really... how am I going to do this voice? You're saying tumultuous correctly 95% of the time. Tumultuous? I want to say tumultuous, but it's a word that just throws me off. I'm sorry. Are you seeing any trouble up there? No, not trouble per se. If anything, this could prove to be quite useful. Pangea Castle Rooftop Terrace. And we got Shirahoshi. I'm letting you guys know that some of my female voices are probably going to sound right about the same. My dude voices I can vary up, but females, not so much.
Father, you finally returned.
Oh, Shirahoshi, I'm glad to see you well.
How did the meeting go? Were you finally able to discuss Mother's wish?
They've decided to schedule the debate with the relocation of Fishman Island as a topic for the 4th day, Jawon. All we can do now is wait patiently and hope it all works out.
Is it me or is it getting cold out there? The wind is really picking up. Who's saying all this? Yes, perhaps it would be best if we went back inside. Pangea Castle, the Great Gate. What's with this insane gust of wind? First crows, now this, what is going... And then all the people fall over. Oh!
It's almost time for the revolution.
Yo, Dragon just walked up to the front gate, knocking out everybody with Conqueror's Haki. He's here as well, and that ends this chapter. Arthur, the writer, editor, and producer of this chapter. Gemini, the artist. And then we have Ninja Spider as the guest cover page artist. Wow, they put a lot of effort into this. Alright, time to move on to the next chapter. Chapter, not 5. If only they had, if you could just press, the left or right on it in order to see the next pages. But now I gotta go to the next one. I gotta find it. Turn to the Reverie. You know what? I might as well just keep the pages up so I can just go to the next one. So give me a quick second. Let me just put them up in different tabs. So that way I don't have to go back. And finale. All right. Moving on to Chapter 2. Return to the Reverie, Chapter 2. Chapter 2, Genesis. And we have Reiju. Cover request, Reiju modeling clothing for eccentric peacock fashion designers. And, you know, it works for her. It works for Reiju quite well. Is the stream still moving good for everyone? Is it still moving well? You guys keep me informed so that way I can edit settings as necessary. Little by little, the dawn slowly rises. As sunlight blesses the Holy Land once again, the curtain rises on the third day of the Reverie. But while it may first seem that the conference is proceeding smoothly, no one could have foreseen the incident that would soon unfold. How the heck could several of our guards have disappeared overnight? I'm not sure, but we can't find them anywhere. Oh! Juribone! What if this has to do with those strong winds from yesterday? You don't think they were pushed off the red line? Don't be ridiculous! You'd need the force of a hurricane to do that!
That was a close one. I need to be more careful or they'll spot me. But how can I even approach him?
And she's thinking about Kuma.
He's being kept under watch at all times. There's no way I can break him out of here. But even if it's the last thing I do, I have to get him out of this miserable place. Huh?
The ground's... And she starts sinking as I recognize that hand. She gets grabbed by Morley. It doesn't even show Morley, but it's her getting grabbed.
Yeah! Huh?
And then she's pulled underground before the guard before the guard in front of her notices and turns around. She's pulled straight underground.
Let me go, I said, let me go!
Gosh, she's so noisy.
Who the heck are you?
Calm down, we only want to talk. You're Jewelry Bonnie, right? And this goes to a flashback to what Katasu was talking to Sabo about in the previous chapter. And are you sure you saw her?
Positive. If it is truly her, I'm certain she'd make a helpful ally.
Good thinking!
And Lindbergh is there as well.
The public might know her as Jewelry Bonnie, but as we were well aware, her true identity is that of the Queen Dowager.
Dowager or Dowager?
Of the Queen Dowager of the Sorbet Kingdom, which is a big deal for some of us Southerners, given how Sorbet ruled over all of the North Blue. Just like how Germa once ruled the North, Sorbet once ruled the South for almost a millennia, no less.
Yes, but as you're aware, her position is quite important to us, as she is the mother of the former king of Sorbet, Bartholomew Kani. Kuma is your son, isn't he?
Well, this is a bit of a loop.
Bartholomew Kani. Kuma.
Bartholomew Kani. Kuma is your son, isn't he?
What do you want from me?
We're from the Revolutionary Army. Kuma is our comrade and friend, so please don't worry. We're allies. We're here to rescue him, as I assume you are too. Let her go, Morley. Okay. Could you tell us what you know?
As you likely already know, I once ate the age fruit, which has made me immune to the effects of aging and natural death. I don't even suffer the effects of hunger, though that just makes my stomach insatiable.
Hey, Psycho, what's going on? You should grow your soul patch or goatee like either Ultimate Cyclops or Sun Se one day. You know, maybe one day I'll grow it out.
Given my lengthy lifespan, I was able to rule over Sorbet for a very long time without a king, which is why they called me the King Dowager. Our kingdom ruled over all of the South Blue. Apparently, it was originally formed as an alliance nation in the South. The details have been lost, but our legends say it was formed some 850 years ago to supposedly stop a purge led by a certain clan. I digress. The kingdom had long since lost the power it once had, so I was hoping my son could breathe new life into it. But my child grew resentful, turning into a despot. He became known as Kuma the Tyrant. After a fierce rebellion, he was exiled, but the damage he had done was far too deep.
Wow, this is really deep. Kuma is your son? That would be a really surprising twist. I know, right?
Despite it all, Kuma continued his rule of terror as a pirate, and had failed as a queen and a mother.
And it shows, firstly, it shows Kuma in his original getup, but he didn't have like the little paw print hat he had on. He had a crown and his hair was much shorter. Then in the next page, as she's looking at his wanted poster with 296 million berries, it shows him with his bear paw cap on.
However, one day I received a letter from him where he apologized for all the horrible actions he had committed.
That likely was after he met Dragon. He once told us how that encounter changed his way of seeing the world.
I never knew the specifics, but I could tell he was being sincere. But then, despite being on peaceful terms with the government for a long time, one day without any warning they summoned a buster call.
And all the commanders, all the head captains are all looking with a serious look on their face.
In recent years, the government have been trying to wipe out all major political powers. I don't get why, but in one night they took everything I had. I had no choice but to adopt a new identity. The government hid the incident, so they used my false name and gave me a modest bounty. However, 2 years ago I found out what happened to Kuma, that he had been killed and turned into a lifeless machine by Dr. Vegapunk. I swore that I would hunt him down and avenge my son.
M. Night Shyamalan.
What a twist!
Everything is his fault. We have to find him. Let's go to the new world.
But as my bad luck would have it, I was captured by the Blackbeard pirates, who sold me to the Marines. I thought I was done for.
And then it shows like a flashback of when Akainu found Jewelry Bonnie still bound when the Blackbeard pirates left, when they found out that a Marine ship was heading their way, but Akainu was on it.
When I heard that you had fled the government, a chill went down my spine.
But thanks to the sacrifice of my crewmates, I was able to escape the battleship.
Hey! Elisabello!
I eventually realized just how futile my objective was. It'd be impossible to even meet Vegapunk. So after these past 2 years, I figured the best I could do was save Kuma from this place. Thanks to an old acquaintance of mine, I infiltrated the Reverie.
So with Elisabello, she was able to slip in. What do you know? And who's that walking in the background? Is that Ryuko Gyu? That looks like a Ryuko Gyu. I see long hair. That might be Ryuko Gyu walking out in the distance.
And here I am, so close yet so far from my goal. After everything, all I've got to prove is a mountain of corpses.
Don't give up yet. Our main objective may be unrelated, but we still plan to rescue Kuma while we're here.
Thanks, but it still doesn't change the fact that Kuma is dead. I honestly don't know why I even bothered coming here.
I understand how you're feeling, but you're wrong about some details. Or rather, you simply don't know what really happened to Kuma. Kuma gave up his humanity out of his own free will. Kuma wasn't known as a revolutionary, so he kept his cover as a pirate. He became a warlord and volunteered to be the blueprint for Vegapunk's cloning experiments.
I'm reading the manga while you're reading, and you reading it for me is kind of nice. That's what I'm here for. I've been told that many other times on different videos that people like when I read stuff and they read alongside me. I'm like an audiobook, I've been told.
He became a warlord and volunteered to be the blueprint for Vegapunk's cloning experiments. The Human Blueprint Project, the Pacifista program. Though, of course, this project was our plan all along. After all, Vegapunk is one of us.
Huh? Well, that's a twist. What a twist! I'm gonna do that every time there's a big twist in there. I'm gonna say that every single time.
But why kill him then? Why did he have to throw away his life?
A full cybernetic transformation was necessary for the program. The Pacifista and the SSG are trump cards to dethrone the Celestial Dragons. But with that said, Kuma is still alive.
And this is Karasu and Lindbergh speaking respectively.
You see, because pacifistas are all cybernetic clones of Kuma, they're all linked to him. In other words, it's vital for Kuma to stay alive, which is why Vegapunk preserved his personality within the machine.
Ghost in the Shell, perhaps?
Deep inside there, his personality is asleep, but with this chip right here, we can reactivate it in a flash. We weren't expecting the Celestial Dragons to take him, though, which is why we had to stage this whole rescue.
Then that means you can really bring Kuma back and save him from here?
Of course, the Revolutionary Army would never abandon a comrade in need. Ah, this is a feel-good moment.
I hate the government, so count me in on anything.
Perfect. If you help us, it'll make things easier on our end. Our operation begins tomorrow morning, on the start of the 4th day. Oh, things are getting juicy. The 4 of us will fulfill our main objective, declaring war on the Celestial Dragons with the assassination of the 5 Elders. Okay, what a twist! In the meantime, Dragon will also focus on his side of the operation and fulfill his own objective. With all that commotion, all eyes will be on the castle. This will be the perfect chance for you to sneak into the city and save Kuma. But remember, while Marines can only enter Marie-Joie after a state of alarm is declared, the Admirals are an exception, so we might have to fight them.
Should things go south, we'll use Kuma's powers to safely make an escape.
Got it. You can count on me. By the way, you wouldn't happen to have brought food with you, right?
Because, needs to eat a lot. And then we cut to the Pangaea Castle in the guest hall. Who's this sitting by themselves? Is this Ryukyu? Because this Fujitora right here.
Ah, you're back. How'd it go? Did you have fun? I've played my role. Now we must see how things turn out. I hope you behaved in my absence. Why don't you go? Why must you be so brusky, Sho? Can't you simply leave what's in the past behind?
Ole! Marie, oh wait. It says ole right here.
Maybe I should give him a Mexican accent instead. Why must you be so brisky, So-san? How did it go? Did you have fun?
This is the voice I'm gonna do for Ryukyu now.
Why must you be so brisky, Sho? Can't you leave what's in the past behind?
Marine HQ Admiral Ryukyu Green Bull, real name Ricardio. I like you 'cause you got that something that I need in my life, so give it to me 'cause you got that.
Did the Fleet Admiral call? Yeah, I told him you're behaving like the good model student you are. It seems you have matured a little. So, is the Warlord system, gone? Oh, it's not that easy. We've received permission from the 5 Elders, but the motion will have to be approved by a round-table vote on the final day. It seems they have faith in the SSG project being a suitable replacement. But I must admit, it feels as if a weight has been lifted from my shoulders.
Pardon the interruption. I have the food you have requested before.
Ah, thank you very much. Please leave it here. Hey, you there?
Yes, how can I assist you?
Sorry, baby, but I couldn't help but notice how your beauty is more dazzling than anything in this place. Want to join me for dinner later? I could show you the true power of an admiral.
And before anything else happens, Isho cracks him over the noggin with his cane.
Stop harassing the staff, Ricardo.
Please enjoy your meal.
Hey, I had something special going on. Tell me, Ricardo, do you know how smile fruits are made? The heck does that have to do with this? They're made from a chemical extract called SAD. Are you even listening to me?
I like how he looks, but expect him to look very different. That's what I think as well. He's a big burly dude, his sleeves are rolled up, his shirt is wide open, and his shirt's wide open. He's still wearing a tie, but it's like a half split open shirt. And he's got big hair.
Are you even listening to me? The SSG team is producing a similar extract. Irradiating these substances onto any soil turns normal trees into devil fruit trees. Some even speculate that is how devil fruits were first created, thanks to the bloodline elements.
Right, but these ones only work on those robots.
2 years ago, he successfully replicated Borsellino's glint fruit, and now he's managed to replicate any type of fruit with them. This will be our trump card in dethroning the current corrupt system. That is why Vegapunk calls its users pacifistas, those that will bring us true peace. I can't wait.
And now we're cutting to the Five Elders.
The SSG project.
Yes.
Yes, artificial devil fruits that only were called pacifistas. It would make them fearsome weapons that could easily wipe an entire country off the map. I can see the advantage. They would be far more obedient than the warlords. What did Lord Emu say of these matters? Certainly he of all would find this play at being called offensive. He views the fruits almost as his children. This would be considered sacrilege. He's intrigued by their military power, but he deems artificial fruits worthless if he can't attain them himself. He did approve of it and the abolishment of the warlords, however. After all, we won't need the balance of the world anymore when the purge comes. That said, Kaido and Big Mom making contact is concerning. Red-Haired also believe that Blackbeard will inherit Rox's will and ambition. What a fool. What a fool he is. He does not understand a thing. Regardless, it is true we are lacking devil fruits ourselves. Perhaps we ought to take a look.
Within Pangaea, there is an enormous door very few are granted access to. While most do not know this, Pangaea Castle was built upon another castle, one that was erected centuries ago, its existence erased by the government. This castle, host to the world's darkest secrets, is simply known as Tartarus. Ooh, I like that.
Walking these halls certainly takes me back to that tale they taught us as children. How did it go again? Once upon a time there was a kingdom, the greatest the world had ever seen. The kingdom's ruler was called Adam. But Adam had a quality that made him unlike any other. It was said he possessed such strong willpower that he could hear and communicate with any creature in the world. His people called this power of his the voice of all things. And Adam used this power for the greater good, ushering in an era of peace and prosperity, earning him the epithet Joy Boy. Eventually, Joy Boy would come to have a chance meeting with the goddess Mother Sea. It was love at first sight. Mother Sea became queen and gave birth to 3 healthy children. These children were blessed with a unique variation of the voice, and as such were named after the 3 great dragon gods of legend, Pluton, Poseidon, and Uranus. However, one day the Sea Devil offered Joy Boy a pact. The devil led him to a striped tree of bizarre fruits, and told him that if he ate them, he could obtain unbelievable power.
Boy, does this story sound very familiar.
Joy Boy refused, but the temptation of power was too strong. This once beloved monarch would become the very image of the devil, offering the tree's fruits to those who craved strength, leading a purge against the weak, to make a world that only the strong could rule. However, Mother Sea, who had gathered 20 heroes from countries across the globe, had no other choice but to put an end to the man she once loved. She brought forth a great storm and sank the kingdom and Joy Boy with it. Legend says she placed a curse on those who ate a devil fruit, swearing that if any dared oppose her and set foot in her domain, the sea, she would strangle them with her own hands.
That explains this world's weakness of devil fruit users.
Before Mother Sea passed away from her wounds, she entrusted the world to the 20 heroes that aided her. These new dragon gods made sure the world wouldn't forget the past so that these mistakes would never be repeated.
It's almost irritating to hear this tale now.
Well, everything in that tale is completely correct. It is simply a matter of understanding the context. It was only years ago, when we were chosen as the latest generation of elders, that we came to know the real truth and why it had to be forgotten. As if any of that helped, we already lost. But there is no denying the validity of these events. Before us stands living proof of that. A colossal tree that stretches its roots all the way to Fishman Island. The Devil Tree Eve. The genesis of all devil fruits. The tree of legend itself is under Marie-Joie. Well, that's peculiar, and thus concludes Chapter 2 of Return to the Reverie. Whew. That's interesting. That's very interesting. I must continue reading. Also, how's my mic volume? My mic volume all right? Because I know I tend to get a little bit quiet with some of these voices a little bit. I tend to put my all into it. But I just want to make sure you guys can hear me just fine. It's a good thing I ain't got, like, music playing in that. But moving on to Chapter 3. Chapter 3, Return to the Reverie. General Commander of the Revolutionary Army Dragon. And here, cover page requests, Kaido having a drinking contest with Zoro and a gorilla. It would be nice if some of this would be transitioned into canon, not unlike Can't Fear Your Own World, because with Bleach, or how those Final Fantasy VII novel characters and concepts became canon in the remake. It would be interesting, but I kind of want to see, I'd much rather see what Oda's going to do. I'd much rather see it like that. Sounds like Adam and Eve when Eve ate the fruit from the tree of knowledge and sin enters the world. That's exactly what this is. That's exactly what that story is, but it has its own One Piece spin on it. That's why I said this story sounds very, very familiar. I knew what it was referencing, but good catch as well, D-Train. So Kaido is having a drinking contest with Zoro, and there are numerous empty jugs and barrels of sake around. And you want to know something funny? I feel like Zoro drank from Kaido's gourd because he's shaking his gourd saying like, there's no more booze in here. Kaido having a gorilla Kaido having a gorilla contest. I don't know why I read it like that. I want Oda to do his own thing too. Yeah, I seriously, as much as I'm liking these fan-made chapters, I'm waiting, I'm patiently, and even though we gotta wait week after week and sometimes 2 weeks at a time in order for chapters to come out, there's just something about the way Oda writes his stuff that puts him in a whole different league. So even if nothing in this ever makes it into One Piece, whether Oda sees it or if it goes in completely different direction than the fan fiction, we already know that it's going to be good for One Piece as a whole. Alright, the day of the operation is finally here. The next day, the Room of Authority. The 4th day of the conference should be starting any moment. What topics are being discussed today? It begins with the subject of relocating Fishman Island. How unsettling. They are essentially carrying out the promise that they once made with Joy Boy. It might all be in the past, but those fish used to be our foes. Kinda rude to call them fish. Lord Emu has already approved of it. He does not need Poseidon, so this matter is irrelevant. Fair point. After all, it won't be long until all fishmen are purged from this world.
Excuse me? What a twist! Purge the fishmen? Not Hachi! Not Kami! Not Papagoo! Not all the mermaids! The hot ones! Not them! Forgive me, but I have an urgent report. We are under... And then there's an explosion. Who goes there? And here comes the squad. Sabo, Morley, Lindbergh, and Karasu. We're here to start a revolution. Make way to start a revolution. Make way, they're gonna have fun tonight. Y'all remember that from Generator X? Good lord, that was such a good show. Pangea Castle, Round Table Room. Yeah! Security! Where did security go? Ah! He's here to kill me!
Impossible! What is he doing here?
And standing on the table in front of the heads of every single person in the room is Monkey D. Dragon! He's standing on the table looking at everyone like Sanji did, staring at his family members during the whole Cake Island arc. But something about Dragon standing there in front of everyone, it's a lot more imposing because it's freaking Dragon!
Please, calm down. I have simply come to talk.
Why should we listen to you? You're nothing more than a... Silence!
The point of the reverie is to listen to others. If you have a topic to offer, then make it quick.
And this is King Hamburg, I think. His name's Hamburg, isn't it?
Chairman Hamburger.
I thought it was just Hamburg, not hamburger. Because me saying that, I could not take seriously.
Chairman Hamburger, you cannot be serious.
Thank you. Rest assured, our intentions are not to harm any of you or your countries. The government might depict us as terrorists, but our objective is a noble one. The dissolution of the Celestial Dragon system.
Huh? But that is not the same as destroying the foundation of the government. Oh, so his name is Hamburger. I thought it was just Hamburg this whole time. Then again, it has been a while since I've seen his name come up in the story, so apologies for my error.
Hamburger. I would like to buy a hamburger. I would like to buy a hamburger. I would like to buy a hamburger. Hamburger. The burger.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop. I'm kind of hungry for hamburgers right now. I blame this chapter. But that is not the same as destroying the foundation of the government.
Not at all. Not at all. We simply wish to take away the power from the Celestial Dragons. We want a government that is ruled by the people, one just and free. Look at this reverie. Nothing more than a symbolic farce. The 5 elders make the choices in your stead. The nobles have turned this world into one where only the strong can rule.
Sounds familiar.
So this is Luffy's father.
And this is Cobra looking at him.
And those born with power monopolize it for their own benefit, discarding away the weak.
Wow, does that sound familiar?
The heavenly tribute they take from each country is wasted on frivolities, despite driving countless nations to poverty, war, and suffering. And yet we turn a blind eye to it all because it does not affect us directly.
Wow. Okay, so Dragon's hitting on some real life situations here. This is kind of resonating with me because a lot of what he's saying applies in real life.
Not to mention all the slaves they hold captive. Millions of lives tortured, broken, and lost across the centuries. All for the benefit of but a few hundred individuals. Nothing can undo the misery they have brought this world.
Why are you saying it sounds familiar? Did you hear it somewhere before? I'm saying it more like what he's saying kind of applies. Hold on. Sorry, my package just came in. Boom, 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 boom. I just got a package. And I know where from. Boom, 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 boom. I was waiting on this. Due to the pandemic, sorry, I'm taking a quick break from reading this because the brand new, the freshest volume of One Piece, volume 94. And it pretty much, it covers everything from Queen. How far does it go? How far does it go? I gotta see. It covers all the way to where Hiyori is willing to give Zoro the Enma Blade. And then it will continue in volume 95. Alright, let me go ahead and put this on my bookshelf real quick like. I need to get a new bookshelf and possibly put it someplace else because I've already filled up my bookshelf with currently all the volumes of One Punch Man, all the volumes of My Hero Academia, a little bit of the beginning of Bleach and the entire last half of Bleach, and so far all the volumes of Dragon Ball Super, and second half of Naruto Shippuden, and pretty much a little bit of the beginning of One Piece and the entire second half of One Piece as well. I gotta get the other volumes. I only have volumes 1 and 2 of One Piece, and then it goes from the time skip all the way up until now. So I gotta get all the rest of the volumes as well. I cannot have an incomplete collection of One Piece, because one day I may just read through all of them. Not doing it during the stream, but just read through One Piece, because I got a ton of manga, but I gotta make room for it. So sorry for the sidetrack. Sorry about that. Let's get back to what we were reading. Okay, let me see.
And yet we turn a blind eye to it all because it doesn't affect us directly. Not to mention all the slaves they hold captive. Millions of lives tortured, broken, and lost across the centuries. All for the benefit of but a few hundred individuals. Nothing can undo the misery they have brought to this world.
But the true criminals of this era are pirates. The rise in piracy is...
this is still Dragon.
The rise in piracy is nothing more than a result of this twisted world the nobles have created. Doflamingo, Big Mom, Whitebeard, even Roger himself. All these individuals rose to power because of their actions.
Oh wait, I forgot to put a timer on because of my food. My family cooked food for me, and, well, I gotta watch it, so I gotta put a timer on to go check on it. Timer. You know, I like doing streams like this where I'm not trying to do everything all scripted and extra, but I'm doing it pro bono and live. Let me just set my timer real quick. 2 minutes have passed since I just opened up that food. Yeah, 15 minutes, start. All right, time to keep going. Sorry if I keep getting sidetracked with a lot of things. There's a lot going on today. I wonder if that one Bleach statue of Ichigo versus Ulquiorra is still available. It looks cool. It even lights up. I'm sorry, what statue of Ulquiorra versus Ichigo? This is the first time I'm hearing of it. I must have pictures. Put it up on the Discord so that way I can check it out real quick, CJ. Well, don't rush. Just, if you can, find a picture of it and put it up on Discord so I can see how it looks.
Doflamingo, Big Mom, Whitebeard, even Roger himself. All these individuals rose to power because of their actions.
Who cares? None of this is my problem!
And this is Wapple coming in.
Even for those of you who only care about your personal interests, such a change would allow you to keep the heavenly tribute all to yourselves.
Wapple stops, sits back down and says, I'm listening.
However, I wish this was our only concern. The truth of the matter is far more frightening. We have discovered that the Cypherpol have secretly been purchasing weapons from the black market for years. Enough of them to start a conflict on a global scale. This may also be why they have been weakening major political powers in recent years. All of this can only mean one thing. They want to wage war on the entire world.
If it's still available, I'll post it. Okay, thanks, CJ.
We cannot allow something like this to happen.
Queen Mororon, do you really believe him? And then King Riku doesn't say anything.
But what if he is right? I'd rather die a slave to principles to others.
Oh, wait.
I'd rather die a slave to principles than to others.
King Tacos! Wow, I forgot that was King Tacos and I gave him that accent.
Have you gone insane? Who would believe they would wage war on the world? Besides, without the nobles, the balance of the world would crumble.
But would it really? Only the elders contribute to the balance. Hypothetically speaking, it would put the power in our hands.
Silence, Queen Destiny.
Huh. And then we got Stelly.
Wait, a war? That won't kill me, right?
Stelly, only thinking of yourself in situations that are bigger than you. This is why Stelly will always be stupid.
Free world? Is that not precisely Otohime's dream?
And then there's King Neptune weighing in his options. And then we have Miasgard, who I kept calling Misselgard the entire time he was in the official canon chapters. I don't know why I thought his name was Misselgard, but it's Miasgard.
I agree. As one of them, I say away with the system.
How can any of you believe such delusional conspiracies? I must admit, I have always wished to rid this world of slavery. But this is all just wishful thinking. No one has the power to oppose them. We do.
I love how casual Dragon is saying this. No one can oppose the celestial dragons.
We can. We do. We have enough military power and countries backing us to make a change. I haven't come here to make a request. I simply wish to inform all of you. At this point, it's already too late to stop these winds of change. The balance of power will soon be turned upside down. I simply request that you take care of what comes afterward. To be there once the world finally enters its dawn. But how can we know that you have no ulterior motives? How can we be assured that you do not wish to seize the power for yourself? Because I already used to be one of them.
What a twist! He used to be a celestial dragon?
My mother was a celestial dragon. My father a marine tasked to guard her. Though back then few knew he was my father. Despite being a noble, my mother truly believed that we weren't celestial gods. She taught me to be human. So after she passed away, I could not bear any of my peers. I was disgusted to be one of them. It was only on one fateful day that I finally met a man who I could truly look up to. That man was none other than Goldie Roger.
Yo! So, what they're saying here in this chapter is that Dragon was there at the God Valley incident. And he was protected by Roger, who was facing off against Rox. Yo! And here we got Roger with his trademark smile.
After sailing with him for a few years, I was able to tell that Roger wanted more than anyone a world that was free. That was his dream. What I have to accomplish today is simply to honor the dreams I inherited from my late mother and captain.
Not only was he saved by Roger, but he was sailing with Roger? What a twist. Back at Pangaea Castle in the guest bedroom, Admiral! Admiral! Please open it, we are under attack!
God, what's with all the racket? It's still morning.
Admiral, you must... forgive my impudence, but... Shouldn't you be wearing clothes?
What, don't you sleep naked?
No.
Trust me, there's nothing better than setting your body free during the night, especially with a cute maid.
So he ended up taking the maid to his bed after all. It didn't waste any time. That's all I got to say. Admiral! Please, this is serious. What if something were to happen to the elders?
I'll get going, but chill. Those geezers won't go down that easily.
I'm not a fan of the idea. I think Dragon being a Celestial was a popular theory about him. I could see it happening. Not a fan of the idea of dragon being a celestial dragon, but more so on the idea of Luffy's mother being a celestial dragon. Who knows? But it's interesting. Like I said, this is a fan fiction. We can't eat as tough as it may seem. We cannot contribute this to any part of the main canon, so we just got to treat this as a fan fiction. This is a fan fiction.
What the heck? That wasn't supposed to go like this. We knew they were strong, but we didn't imagine.
It seems we have underestimated them.
These are some tough boys. These are some tough boys.
Those who are weak cannot rule this world. If you thought of us as frail old men, then you were sorely mistaken.
Highest authority of the world, the 5 elders. Okay, so so the youngest member of the elders has his body completely clad in haki. The old man with the giant mustache, he's muscular underneath with numerous scars. The bald guy with the sword, he looks like he's coating his sword in haki. The guy with the pointed mustache and beard, he's just standing with his hands in his pockets, but I'm getting some Rob Lucci vibes from him. And the one with the dreadlocks and the hat, he's a T-Rex. Then again, I can't tell what that is specifically, but he's a dinosaur Zoan.
You may be strong, but we are too. Don't underestimate us either.
Yo, Todo Verde works quick getting the monkey double backflips. He didn't waste no time. He saw what he wanted and he got it.
Huh, you are unfit to act as leaders.
The strong trample the weak. That is how it has always been.
Saint Mohanda, master swordsman and wielder of the Shodai Kitetsu.
While we are celestial dragons ourselves, do not compare us to those lazy fools in the city.
Saint Ferdinand, master of many martial arts, including Rokushiki. So, he's a grandmaster of the 6 powers fight style. I know I could say Rokushiki, but 6 powers is a lot easier for enunciation, and I don't have to worry about people getting on me about how I pronounce it.
Ever since youth, we were groomed in body and mind to take the position of elders.
Saint Nicholas, user of the Merc fruit, a Mercury human. Wow. Gigantosaurus. Okay, interesting. D-Train, are you reading ahead of me? Because I haven't even gotten to that quite yet. But a Mercury human. Isn't Mercury dangerous for humans to touch?
We barely have to make use of our powers, but maintaining our strength is a necessity.
Saint William has mastered both observation and armament haki.
And if we could be killed that easily in an assassination attempt such as this one. As if we could be killed that easily in an assassination attempt such as this one.
Saint Starvos, user of the ancient Zoan Sorcerer fruit, model Gigantosaurus. If you're reading ahead of me, do not point out anything ahead of me until I have read it. New World, Marine HQ.
This is an unprecedented attack. We are still assessing the situation, but we're already moving our forces. However, unlike Fisher Tiger's attack 15 years ago, this is an organized assault. Reports indicate that it's the Revolutionary Army. They are one of the strongest military powers in the world, possessing armies in each ocean. They are led by these individuals.
It's alright, D-Train, just don't spoil anything ahead of me, because I'm actually quite enjoying these.
A former member of Vegapunk's elite scientist team, Southern Commander Lindbergh, 518 million berries. The Flag of the Revolution, responsible for many insurrections. Eastern Commander Bello Betty, 465 million berries. A fearsome giant and user of the Push fruit, Western Commander Morley, 650 million berries. One of the Army's most formidable fighters, a Logia user, North Commander Karasu, 710 million berries. And last but not least, Grand Line Commander Emporio Ivankov, 888 million berries. As for this man, we were originally unable to evaluate his full strength. As such, his bounty was kept somewhat moderate. However, after his exploits at Rocky Port and Dressrosa, we deemed it necessary to raise his bounty. The Chief of Staff in the Army's number 2, Sabo, bounty of 1,100,000,000 berries.
They're almost like the crew of an emperor.
But while all these individuals are strong combatants in their own right, one man far exceeds them all. And then it shows the 5 elders looking surprised all of a sudden. Or are they fighting? Oh, they're looking surprised. And Sabo's right there. I'm sorry, we...
It's fine, Sabo. This was a miscalculation on my end. We have no time to waste. I'll take care of them.
Yo, Dragon is about to solo all 5 of the elders. General Commander of the Revolutionary Army, Monkey D. Dragon, Logia user of the Win-Win Fruit, the Kaze Kaze no Mi. Okay, let's just go ahead and say this right now. This is definitely a fan fiction because for years has it been theories that Dragon has like a wind-based devil fruit, but this just cements yet another theory, and to put it here into print, people are really running with this theory. Only Oda knows for sure.
Dragon! So you did come. Lord Emu was right.
Why did I call him Emu?
Lord Im was right after all. You of the D-Clan always bring a storm with you.
If you give us more time...
We don't have that time. We must move quickly. Right. So this is where your petty quest for revenge has led you. Do you feel no remorse killing your own kin?
Let's reconvene with Bonnie.
I am not a man of revenge. My past has no bearings on my actions. However, after having soaked your hands in the blood of millions, you dare talk to me about remorse?
And then a storm starts to form right over Marijois.
That's not a storm, that's a hurricane! Don't let him try anything!
And all the elders rush towards him. All of them. And he just simply puts his hands forward. And they're all blown back by a gigantic burst of wind. That sends them all tumbling out of the building down the red line. All of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, all of them. He just blasted them out of the castle. Off the cliff. Just blew them out. While his strength is considered almost on par with that of the Emperor's, the Celestial Dragons deemed him so much of a threat they raised a fund for his bounty, making him the most wanted man in history. Monkey D. Dragon bounty 10 billion berries. There is no going back now. There is no more going back now. And this is the end of chapter 3. What an intro. I feel like the day we officially find out Dragon's bounty, I'm still going to enjoy it just as much. If it doesn't turn out to be 10 million, I don't care. I mean, it is what it is. And my alarm has gone off, so I'm going to go ahead and check on my food real quick. That's the end of chapter 3. I'm going to take this couple of minutes to go ahead and get my food together and bring it up here so that way I can eat and continue reading for you guys. I already got chapter 4 set up, so let's go ahead and I'll be right back. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Alright, sorry for the delay, everyone. Had to get my food back together again. So now we're good. Alright, so what have you guys been talking about? Feel Oda's going to double bounty. I hope Oda goes back to the Reverie at some point because it could be amazing. I hope so as well. Let me make sure that nothing is keeping this page or anything else from moving slowly. So I'm just getting rid of all of my tabs that I have up, except for the One Piece manga pages. I'm from the Right Stuff anime site, so I can actually start getting more volumes and ordering them. But what I miss? Win-Win fruit is actually a pretty strong fruit, and since it's dragon, he probably mastered it. Can't wait to see what it's going to be when they reveal it. Bounty so high, even the world government needed a GoFundMe. Dragon has the potential to be the best written character in One Piece. We just have to wait until he's fleshed out. Exactly. There's so much about Dragon that we don't know, but the more we learn about Dragon, the better character he becomes. And that's what I like about Oda's writing. You can just get like a bare bones minimum of a character at the beginning, and as soon as they start getting fleshed out, you either really hate the character or you start to love them. And characters that we only get like small infos about, but they're just interesting just from appearance and from the little bit that we see of them, that really, really stands out. So I'm looking forward to that. But onwards to chapter 4. We are almost done. We only have 5 and 6 after this. And then that will conclude the stream for today. Because I'm just going to continue playing Ghost of Tsushima so I can platinum it. I want to platinum this game before Samurai Jack Battle Through Time comes out on Friday. I can't believe the Samurai Jack game is coming out this week. I'm getting it. Samurai Jack. Why wouldn't I get it? But let's focus. Give me a sec. Really good fries. Really good. Rally fries. Return to the Reverie. Chapter 4. Chaos at the Holy Land. Cover page request. Roger, Rouge, and Ace having a nice family dinner. Wouldn't this be something? If Roger was still alive, didn't turn himself over to the government, and was there to see Ace slowly grow up. The whole Roger family. No, the whole Gold family, because his name is Gold D. Roger, and Ace's name was going to be Gold D. Ace, but the whole Gold family, that would have been cool to see. Marie-Joie is in a state of panic. This is unacceptable. We are supposed to simply sit here and wait.
But what if what he said is true?
You believe any of his lies? Enough!
What we think of it is irrelevant. These events cannot be stopped anymore. All we can do is wait and see where the whims of fate lead us.
That's a recurring theme in One Piece. Rallies have the best fries, in my honest opinion. Seriously, when me and my family lived in, I want to say Louisville, Kentucky, that we had like a Checkers or Rallies. We had them. We had one that was like a hop, skip, and a jump away from the church we used to go to. Would always go there after every service. The fries were to die for. It was so good. The Red Port. Why aren't the Bondolas working? This latest model was developed by Dr. Vegapunk. It should be foolproof. We can't reach Marie-Joie like this. And Garp is looking up and he's not saying anything. Pangea Castle, Socializing Plaza. A hurricane. How could one even form in Marie-Joie? Because for all we know, in Marie-Joie it's always sunny. At least the times that we see it, we rarely see Marie-Joie have any sort of inclement weather. It's always sunny. It's always perfect.
Father, are our parents all right? What should we do? They could be in danger. We have to help them.
Please stay put. We are in a state of alarm. And this was Shirahoshi, Rebecca, and Vivi speaking respectively, along with Karu and Leo of the Tontadas in the background. You didn't think I couldn't see them, but I can see them just fine.
Stay put? My father's inside there. How can you ask me in a situation like this?
And then the ground starts to shake.
The earth is trembling. What now? What was that? Are you okay, Vivi? That voice again.
We can't afford to waste... Oh, wait, is that Lindbergh? Or... No, that's Lindbergh.
We can't afford to waste any time. Bonnie might be in danger. I can't get through to her. I just hope she hasn't been captured.
Seems we have our own problems to worry about.
Oh, so all the commanders are making their way through the hallway away from Dragon, because Dragon said he was going to solo all of the 5 elders by himself. But they run straight into Rob Lucci.
We meet again, and at the worst possible time. So you are the ones responsible for this mess. The admirals should have been protecting the castle. What are they thinking?
Cypherpole Aegis Zero! Squadron leader Rob Lucci and Hattori. You guys going ahead. Wait, Sabo, I promise I'll catch up.
Fine. We don't have time to argue. We'll never make it by foot. Let's just go out the window.
As if I'd let you.
And then Sabo uses his powers to engulf the entire area in flames so Lucci can't get through.
Sorry, but I've got a score to settle with you. Let's finish this right here. Fine by me. I've been looking forward to putting you down for good.
Oh, you're getting awfully confident. It's only natural. I've grown much stronger since we last met. And then in Eden City, Jewelry Bonnie gets punched by somebody. Oh, and it's Kaku. We've spent years trying to capture you, and yet you tried to infiltrate our home turf. No, that was not Kaku. That was Jabra.
We spent years trying to capture you, and yet you try to infiltrate our home turf.
Seems we've hunted down quite the pesky prey. Quite the tasty prey. We are the shield of the celestial dragons. We have eyes everywhere across this city. So, not only is Jabra and Kaku standing in Bonnie's way, but also Stussy with Kuma in the back. And then we have Dendemushi coming in. Kyushu, I would love to see you playing Fall Guys in a stream. You know what, D-Train? I've been seeing this popping up, and you know a lot of other people have been playing it and enjoying it, and the ridiculousness of it all. I just might. It's kind of popular right now, and you know what? It might as well strike with the iron tide while it's popular right now.
Yes, something to report.
An unspeakable blunder! The castle is under attack! A hurricane! Oh, how tragic! Huh? But aren't the admirals at the castle? I do not know. The guard can't find them, and they said the revolutionaries are behind this.
The revolutionaries?
So this was all part of their plan? And Bonnie's just smiling as she's facing down all of them. So, you were a decoy, huh? Then die like one! Shigun! And before Jabra can deal the finishing blow to her, Morley comes straight out the ground with his trident. The revolutionaries! Bonnie, sorry we didn't imagine they targeted you. Hello. Oh wait, that's Lindbergh.
Bonnie, sorry, we didn't imagine they'd target you.
Hello, Bonnie-chan, how are you doing? Well?
Yes, thank you.
Quick, here's Kuma's chip. Roger that.
Hey, hold it!
And before Jabra can close in on them, he's blocked by both Morley and Karasu.
You'll have to go through us first.
Here we go!
And then he puts the chip into Kuma's head, and Kuma wakes up.
Huh?
It worked!
Mother? What are you doing here?
Kuma, is that really you? Why did you let them turn you into this?
One of us had to do it. Don't eat them?
Don't.
I won't eat them.
Just eat your food.
Okay, I'll just eat the pizza rolls.
Okay, chunk them.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
I taste them. Fries don't supposed to taste like that.
I got you.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you too. I ate one fry. I'm gonna die. But no. Looks like the only thing I eat the pizza rolls. Oh well. Give me a sec. I'm looking at the playback. I keep forgetting the faces that I make on screen for you guys. Let me get back to reading.
One of us had to do it, for the sake of our plans. And I was the only one in the army who deserved such a punishment. It was the only thing I could do to atone for all the lives I ruined. If my sacrifice can help pave a better future for the people of the world,
Kuma,
then my life is a small price to pay for it.
Sorry, but you'll have to save this for later.
forget the castle. We need to take care of these guys or those nobles will be in danger.
They should so market Dead Mushi phones or cell phones, complete with facial expressions and changes. I'm surprised they haven't done it yet. Specifically with like toy robotics and stuff, you would think that it would be a thing that someone has made.
I don't need you to tell me that. Are you mocking my intelligence? Huh? Are you an idiot or what? Out of my way. He's my target.
You're the one in the way.
Karasu, leave him to me. I got a new toy perfect for this. Ultrasonic shooter! Ah, my ears! This beauty sends a frequency that animals can't stand, so it works on all Zoan users.
Yo yo! The time has come for me to take the stage.
Kumadori?
I haven't seen that man in years. And he tries to stab into Lindbergh. Stop right there! Yo yo yo! You wild beasts are no match for such witchcraft.
Who are you calling a beast?
Kumadori. I shall be your opponent. And Lindbergh just looks on like, huh? Then I'll deal with him. Karasu goes against Kaku, and he slices through him, but Karasu doesn't feel it at all, because Kaku notices that he's a Logia user.
A Logia? Indeed, I have eaten the tartar fruit, and I have also awakened my powers. As a Logia, you should know what that entails. Unlike Zoan or Paramecia, the awakening of a Logia makes their element come to life.
They should have made new characters for CP0. Maybe. It'd be interesting to find out who was CP0 beforehand, or if CP9 became the new CP0 because of their capabilities and they needed a new super secret undercover group on top of, Cypherpole.
Unlike Zoan or Paramecia, the awakening of a Logia makes their element come to life.
And he uses his tar to turn into an animated giant mouth that goes to chomp on Kaku, but it doesn't work. Shouldn't Kanasu's fruit be special Paramecia? I believe so. We've never gotten the official name of it, have we? Hold on. Karasu. I'm looking up his page real quick. And it mentions nothing about... Okay, here it is. Eating a devil fruit of an unknown type that allows him to turn his body and clothes into a murder of crows, and this form is capable of performing actions over a wide area, such as shown when he stole all of the Pinkbeard pirate sword all at once. Each crow is capable of carrying an average-sized person on its back, and they are also used to deliver newspapers. Karasu is also capable of talking as a crow. So this is an unexplained devil. We don't know what type it is, though it does lean into the way a special Paramecia type. So I wouldn't call it Logia, though. But then at the same time, we don't know what it is, because it doesn't say what type it is. It doesn't say if it's a special Paramecia or if it's an awakened Logia. I don't see crows being a Logia. Isn't Logia supposed to be an element? Yes, but there's nothing as of yet that says that Logias can't awaken their devil fruit powers and cause them to become a different thing altogether. So that's in the air, because we currently don't know what type of devil fruit he ate, or whether it's a special Paramecia or whatever.
As such, the body of a Logia can become a malleable creature in and of itself. It can gain a body with properties no different than that of a Zoan. If trained properly, a Logia can mimic anything a Zoan can, and he cloaks his body in tar and gives himself wings and claws, akin to that of a Zoan hybrid.
And he immediately goes for Kaku. Look at users who think they're invincible always die young. All you need is hockey. And then Karasu is already behind him.
Of course.
Future sight? Try to dodge this distance. Shuriken Rankyaku!
That is why I have undergone thorough training for my hockey. Those who die young are those who grow arrogant.
Dark Claw! And he slashes straight through Kaku using hockey claws. He ignores all of the shuriken rankyakus that Kaku shoots his way. And just slices through him. What do I see? A prey ripe for the picking! And Jabra is right next to Kuma and Bonnie. Time for a hunt! Hold it right there, mister.
Huh? Move it out of the way. Move it out of the way, fatso.
Oh, don't tell me that you're hitting on me. He looks like an angel of death. Pretty much.
How's that a compliment?
Oh my, he's playing hard to get.
Whatever, just shove it. She got... Huh? It didn't pierce him?
He's
sucking me in!
And then he just sucks him into his stomach and then rebounds him out. Just like Tank Man.
What the heck's up with this guy?
I'm free tomorrow if you want. And just sends Jabra flying in the opposite direction. Jabra doesn't even get a full-on fight. He just gets bodied by a belly.
I'll take care of them then. Run, Kyaku!
And Stussy aims this at Bonnie, but it's intercepted by Kuma, who's sent flying.
Kuma! Don't take your eyes off of me, darling.
And Bonnie gets Shigoned in the shoulder.
Look at you needing a man to take attacks in your place. Pathetic. You're dumber than I thought.
Huh? What makes you say that?
Because you've already forgot how my power works.
And Jewelry Bonnie grabs Stussy's face.
Age, revert!
And turns Stussy into a child. Stussy smiles at her like, eh. We get like a very serious, foreboding look from Bonnie before Bonnie kicks Stussy straight in the face. And then we have Lindbergh flying away from Kumadori, but he gets grabbed by Kumadori's big wild hair. Yo-yoy! I understand your desire to run away, but alas it is for naught, for I shall always...
Who said I was running away?
And then Lindbergh takes a switch out of his hand.
The only reason I flew here is because it's where Morley hid my toy.
And out of the ground comes a giant cat mech.
Spirit of Nyan Lewis.
The spirit of St. Louis, sometimes called Ryan Louis, is the plane Charles Lindbergh used to cross the Atlantic.
All right, time to rock and roll.
He literally just pulled a Dexter's Laboratory, got into a giant mech that looks like him, and is going to be fighting Kumadori in a giant mech. Kumadori doesn't say anything. But, back at the castle, we have... Oh, Im-sama. I finally found... This is Dragon and Im-sama.
I finally found you, so you really do exist. You're the one who has been amassing all those weapons to wage war on the world. Our intel could only attain what seemed like a vague rumor. There is no historical records of your existence. Even as a celestial dragon myself, I never heard of someone with a position like yours. How's that possible? Just who are you?
The true enemy finally appears.
I am King Im, I have long since awaited the day you would come meet me. Yo!
And that's the end of chapter 4. Time to move on to chapter 5. I gotta take a quick break so I can eat a little bit. These chapters are good. These may be fan-made chapters, but I'm heavily invested. CP0 got completely demolished. They stood no chance. Yeah, they really did, didn't they? Alright. Return to the Reverie. Chapter 5, Beneath the Mask. Cover requests: Crocodile and Beige playing poker against a horse dealer, with Beige using his unique abilities to have Vito pass him cards that can help him win his hand. Not surprised that this would be something that Beige would do. Who is this mysterious monarch? Hold on, making sure I read the title out. Yeah, I did. I knew that you would come after me one day. It is proof of your identity.
You're called Eam. What sort of name is that?
After I ascended, I deemed it fitting to alter my name to that of a god. Though as a former world noble, you should be familiar with my original name.
Wait, if your name is Eam, then are you referring to that other name?
The name every celestial dragon is taught to fear. The name of the natural enemy of the gods.
You should have died hundreds of years ago. How could you possibly be alive? Now I understand why the elders followed you. They were scared of you. Forget the celestial dragons. You're a far bigger threat.
And Dragon coats both his hands in hockey.
I must stop you right here.
I cheated death. I returned to this world from beyond the grave not too long ago. You of all should remember that there is no devil fruit that can oppose the force of the sea.
Yo, does this man have a devil fruit that allows him to control water and create water? The literal bane of all devil fruits. And they both face off against one another. Dragon with his dragon-shaped wings and hockey, and Im with his with the sea itself. Eden City, please evacuate this way. Leave the center of the city. Someone help me. We're all going to die. Do you remember what you have to do? Yeah, you already told me before. Oh, wait, who's this? Who is this speaking? I can't tell if this is an Emerald or not. I gotta round them all up alive, right? Who is this speaking? Is that Ryukugiyu?
Do you remember what
This might be Fujitora and Ryukugiyu speaking. No one spoil it for me!
Do you remember what you have to do?
Yeah, you already told me before. I gotta round them all up alive, right?
And then it cuts to Lindbergh facing off against Kumadori. If you think this shall give you an advantage, think again! And of course, Kumadori uses hair to strap up the mech. To string up the mech. It just makes you an easier target. And then, I don't know if he covers his pole in hockey. He probably doesn't. But he says, Shigun! And tries to pierce the mech. Yeah, he did use hockey. He did use hockey on his staff. But it's not enough to actually pierce the mech. It just leaves a scratch. That's it. What? But I use hockey!
As if this baby of mine would fall to that. Now let's crank up the heat.
And he sets Kumadori's hair on fire, leaving him bald. And he's prepared to punch. And Lindbergh is preparing to punch Kumadori. Kumadori says, "How dare you!" Punches him. But Kumadori uses Tekkai Go!
Turn on the thrusters!
And he has thrusters on his arms to enhance his punch, which sends Kumadori flying across the town.
Or take home run!
Ortega refers to competition Charles Lindbergh's Ortega refers to the competition Charles Lindbergh participated in to cross the Atlantic. And all the world nobles who are there are looking on in utter shock.
Alright, that should be enough. Karasu, Morley, you guys there? I'm done on my end. We should start to regroup.
I'm finished here too.
Then can you go fetch Sabo?
And then it shows Karasu slicing up Kaku.
I'm done on my end as well.
Alrighty, time to go.
Alrighty, time to go and pick up Sabo. Then all of a sudden, what is this? Stuff just pops up out of the ground and it launches Morley into the ground. It must have hurt him because he's bleeding. It's Ryukugiyu.
How dare you do that to her?
Oh, wow. All this time I thought that Morley was a dude, but I guess that's what they're calling him. Her. My bad. But then Kanasu slices into Ryukugiyu, slicing apart numerous buildings behind him. Hey man, chill out. You just ruined my new shirt. And Ryukugiyu hockeys up, and before Kanasu can react, Ryukugiyu clotheslines Kanasu. Enough to knock blood out of him as well and send him flying into a building. Sorry boys, playtime's over. Isho told me to round you all up.
Where were you all this time, Admiral?
Marine HQ Admiral Ryukugiyu, user of the plant fruit, follower of Brazen Justice, the Mori no Mi. Ooh, that's interesting.
Karasu, you okay?
Still up for a fight, huh? Why is he stripping? He's taking both his admiral coat and his shirt off. What is he about to do? And Lindbergh pops up, preparing to punch Ryukugiyu. And Ryukugiyu just takes it.
Or take home run!
And it does nothing to him. And he looks on as Lindbergh's mech opens up to show a cannon. And he blasts Ryukugiyu point blank. Tries to hit him, but he's above him. Missed me. And he coats his hand in, I guess, Ryuo? Because that's what it looks like. His body is already hockeyed, his arm is already hockeyed up, but then another aura goes around it. And he places his hand on top of Lindbergh's mech, and he destroys it. You're aware that to become an admiral, you got to have mastered advanced hockey, right? I don't think you commanders really understand the gap between you and us. Now be a good little kitten and follow me. I've been ordered to capture you all alive.
Kuma, this is getting too dangerous. We need your powers to get us out of here.
Karasu, I'm sorry, but I can't do that anymore.
What?
Because I've lost my devil fruit powers.
What? What a twist! Yo! Kuma no longer has the Niku no Mi! And then it cuts to Sabo fighting Rob Lucci. With them falling into the socializing hall, it looks like.
Hey, someone just came out of the wall.
Running away. What, you scared? I don't have any more time to waste.
Not so fast! And then Lucci braces himself. Fire shotgun! I'm not letting you go after them. And Lucci gets hit by this, and I think he almost gets hit by this, but then he starts to jump away. Dang it, get back here! And then he starts to go after Lucci, and they're both in a big giant library of some kind.
Fine then, let's finish this right now.
The pleasure's all mine. And they both... And Lucci starts using like his super version of Shave, where he starts zigzagging around the place. All around Sabo. And he tries to use Rankyuk on Sabo, but it doesn't work, because, Logia. Lucci does his zigzagging again, and he manages to dig some Shigans into his shoulder. They really like using Shigan in people's shoulders, don't they? Of course, Sabo still has an available arm. He sets it on fire, and then both Lucci and Sabo hit each other at the same time. Sabo hits him with a fire punch, while Lucci hits him with a hockey punch. But and Lucci's starting to cough up blood. Sabo's not getting hit with any blood, but Sabo's not coughing up any blood. But he starts to ready his fist. And he tries to punch Luffy. Why was I about to call him Luffy? He tries to punch Lucci, but Lucci avoids it.
You fell for it. Greatest ring.
That's my line.
Rokugan! Flame Dragon King!
They both hit each other, and the fact is that Lucci uses Haki to enhance his Saidairin. And they both hit each other with attacks. They both send each other flying, but what is it with Lucci being sent flying out of buildings every time he's beaten? Granted, he's only been beaten once that we've seen, but this is the second time Lucci has been knocked out and sent flying out of a building. First by Luffy, now by Sabo. And though Sabo coughed up a little bit of blood from the attack, it still wasn't enough for him to be beaten, because he's still breathing after this.
Gah, I overdid it again. I need to regroup with everyone. That won't be necessary. I must ask you to come with me.
Oh, right as the fighting is done, Fujitora is standing right in front of Sabo. You again! And before Sabo can actually, before Sabo can do anything, Fujitora blocks it.
Please do not misunderstand. I am not here to capture you. I simply wish to make an offer. Me and Ricardo are part of a secret faction within the Marines that opposes the corruption of the world government. We call ourselves Sword.
What a twist! Fujitora and Ryugi are in the same group as Kobe and Drake! What is you doing? Why are you getting me so hyped up for these Fanmade chapters? And then it cuts to Dragon being completely submerged and doused in water by Im. And he drops Dragon to the ground. He's pretty much drowning Dragon there.
What did you do to me?
All devil fruits arose from their genesis. It is only natural for them to return to the sea. I no longer have any doubts. You are the one who inherited his will. I had my suspicions your child was the one, but it is clear to me it must be you.
Huh? Who are you really, and why can you wield water?
You should already know why devil fruits were made to be weak to water. It was all so that no devil fruit user would ever dare oppose me.
What? Then the legends were right? Are you really who you say you are? Who are you underneath that mask?
If you insist, I shall entertain your wish.
And then Im takes his mask off, and it leaves Dragon with a awestruck face. Like, he's speechless from this.
No, that face! Impossible!
I applaud you for coming here today. However,
don't screw with me!
You are still too early. The promised day is not here yet. Only then shall we fight.
And Im has Kuma's paw pads on his hand. And before Dragon can do anything, he pushes him someplace else.
Let us meet again on the final island. Joy Boy.
Next week, the big finale with a whopping 30 pages and lead color cover. This is the end of Chapter 5. All we have left is Chapter 6. The big finale. And it feels like it's going to be a hefty one. Wow. I need to eat me another pizza roll to prepare for this. You know what? I got to eat some of these before they start to get cold. Hopefully I can finish this quickly so that way I can go ahead and eat. You know what? I'm going to finish this, then I'll worry about eating. Yeah. we're going to do the grand finale of the Return to the Reverie project. Hope you guys have been enjoying so far. But I think that this was really I think this is really entertaining. And we're on the last one. And Blackbeard thought he was the strongest. Wow. This is something. Alright. And here's a disclaimer for this. This chapter is really long, as it's a dense 30-page special, filled to the brim with big reveals and revelations. Obviously, Oda would never make a chapter like this, so don't think of it so much as a traditional One Piece chapter, but something longer and more thorough. Enjoy! And here, in this special page request, cover page requests A Gift for a Friend, The Straw Hats as the Cast of Final Fantasy VII by Tina Fate 1, where all of the Straw Hat crew are dressed up to look like members and people from Final Fantasy VII. You have Chopper as Red 13, you have Zoro as Zack, you have Luffy as Cloud, you have Usopp as Sephiroth of all people, Frankie as Barrett, you have Sanji as Sid, Robin as Tifa, Nami as Aerith, and I want to say you have... Who is Jinbei? Like, Brooke is Vincent. And Carrot is... Is that Yuffie? No, that's not Yuffie. That might be Yuffie. I'm sorry. I forget. Yuffie or Jesse. But who is Jinbei? He's not a chocobo. Because he has bat wings on him. I can't tell what Jinbei is. My bad. Chapter 6, The Beginning of the End. Return to Kamabaka. Dragon, so you are safe. Boy, am I glad to see you.
Ivankov, what are you doing here?
Wait,
Where am I?
you're in Kamabaka, silly. He's back, the General Commander has returned.
Dragon, you're safe. Kuma must have saved you. Where are Sabo and the others?
No, Kuma didn't. Never mind, I need to go back there.
What are you saying? We've been trying to contact you for the past 3 days. The Reverie ended today.
Oh. I suppose it makes sense. Kuma's power sent one flying for 3 days and nights.
Wait, what do you mean that Kuma didn't? What happened?
I'll explain everything later. I have to go back and check if they're still...
He checks himself.
My devil fruit powers are gone.
Huh? Despite their efforts, the revolutionaries were captured by the admirals, and so the conference continued as originally planned. The move of Fishman Island to the surface was approved, and the warlord system was successfully abolished. Each ruler returned to their homeland with different feelings in heart, but all of them could tell that this was just a prelude to something greater.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Tell your friends, arm yourselves with knowledge.
Attempted genocide on the Celestial Dragons. 5 elders assassinated in the process. The culprits will be executed in a month from now.
And it shows Sabo on the front page. Back at Marijois, as the rest of CP0 tend to their wounds, with Stussy being the most upset due to the fact that she's been turned into a child.
So, you didn't cover up that headline. That darn Morgans. This is going to throw things off balance.
It seems things aren't going well at the Wano country either. At this rate, we won't have enough weapons.
Grand Line, Sabaody Archipelago, Rayleigh and Shaki!
Big Mom and Kaido. Seems Luffy's gotten himself in quite some trouble. Those two, huh? Takes me back to when we first met. Back when we nearly killed each other. Sometimes I miss the old days. I was in the rocks.
Grand Line, Sakura Kingdom.
What troubling news. What do you think of this, Dr. Kureha?
Huh? You want to know the secret to my perennial youth?
No, I didn't. What even is the secret you always talk about?
Oh, well, it all started when an old colleague of mine performed a perennial youth operation on me.
What? So in this fan-made universe of One Piece, Dr. Kureha had the ultimate life operation put on her. And yo, we're seeing so many people right now.
So, they restored everyone's bounties, huh?
I can't wait to get new cellmates. Dragon, what are you up to these days?
So that is Gecko Moria, Doflamingo, and Crocodile, respectively. Don't let a single one of them onto the island.
How troublesome! They also restored my bounty from my time in the rocks.
Mommy! Then we have the mother of Edward Weevil. We have Boa Hancock.
How many digits is this bounty?
And then we have Buggy. Grand Line, Kurdai Ghana Island. Oh, we got Kizaru versus Mihawk? How frightening. So this is the power of the world's strongest. And he's fighting, Mihawk is fighting Kizaru of all people. Don't waste my time. Tell headquarters that if they're serious about capturing me, then they'd better send all 3 admirals against me. World's strongest swordsman, Dracul Mihawk. Dracul Hawkeye's Mihawk with a bounty of 3,690,000,000. Oh, we got everybody up in this piece.
Caesar Clown.
Yes, we found him by total coincidence. What a lucky stroke of fate.
Darn it, and just when I thought I escaped from Big Mom, someone help me!
Sea Fog. Is there really no other option? You know better than anyone that it's our best chance at the moment. Yeah, I get where you're coming from, but this ain't gonna sit well with a lot of my men. Besides, I don't know how to feel that you strung us together like this. This was your plan from the start, wasn't it, Vegapunk? Doflamingo saying, I can't wait to get new cellmates didn't sound right. I'm just reading what's there. And then a news coup is flying by and it's zapped by lightning. Oh! Wow! What a twist! It's Enel! Eneru! World government? Kings? Why would this world need any of those? When its new god, it's coming its way. Okay. Yeah! Whatever coming at it! Apparently Enel's come back from the moon. Grand Line, Kamabaka Kingdom. We finally got contact.
Sabo, what's your status?
Is this the commander I'm speaking with?
Huh? Who are you?
I'm the commander of Sword. Who is this? I'm the commander of Sword, a marine unit working independently from the world government. We formed this unit with the objective to reform the current corrupt system, to do away with the warlords, the emperors, and the celestial dragons. Don't worry, I'll ensure your subordinates will be safe and sound. But there's something I wanted to request in exchange for their safety. As you're likely aware, someone among the celestial dragons has been amassing weapons to wage war on the world. As a countermeasure, our ally, Dr. Vegapunk, started the Pacifista program. We hold the ability to control them, unbeknownst to the government, or so we thought. Vegapunk disclosed to me that he was working for both us and the Revolutionary Army at the same time. He's been orchestrating this grand plan for several years, with the intent for us to cooperate with each other. He believes in both of our ideals and wants us to join forces to stop this lurking threat.
We may share different beliefs, and I may not condone your actions. But our goal is one and the same. I'd rather not resort to this, but we have no other option. I wish to propose an alliance with the Revolutionary Army. It's Kuzan! It's Kuzan! Commander of Sword, Kuzan, formerly Admiral Aokiji, captain of the Blackbeard's 10th ship, Undercover. Yo, and he's sailing right with the Blackbeard pirates as he's having this conversation! While the events that transpired at the Holy Land were certainly quite the tumultuous incident, got it right, they are not the unprecedented incident we have mentioned. Said incident, one of far more catastrophic results, would only take place after the reverie concluded. Please, right through this door, and Cobra is being escorted into the throne room of Im. Huh? Where are the 5 elders? The 5 elders are dead. Welcome, Cobra, King of Alabasta. I am King Im, King of the world. Dead? How is that possible? And who are you? Their death is lamentable, but while they once used to rule the world, that position has now fallen to me. They simply acted as my proxy. Regardless, I believe there is something you want from me. How convenient. There is something I want from you as well. What is it you wish? I may not have long to live, but I want to know the truth. Why did the government erase the Void Century? Very well. Are you ready then? Ready for what? The truth. All of it. The Void Century revolves around the existence of a certain great kingdom. A dreamlike country that now lies hidden at the end of the Grand Line. The kingdom's influence spread across the whole world, but the aim of its king, Joy Boy, was not to rule over others. Joy Boy was blessed with unnatural haki, to the point he could speak to any race or species. He used his powers to help build a society where all could exist together in harmony, kind of like what Big Mom wants to do. But the fact that he has not only giants, minks, people from Skypiea, fishmen, and the giant serpent from Skypiea, it's kind of ridiculous. However, his ideals of equality were not shared by everyone. Many humans viewed the races of the world as creatures, no different than wild beasts, and it shows some tontatas being grabbed by humans. And it also shows in the next panel some fishmen being run out of town, basically. For most humans, it was socially logical to treat them as inferior. But Joy Boy wanted to create a world that would put an end to this inequality. Sorry, I was trying to get that word out. His dream was for all the races of the world to coexist under the same sun. Or in other words, to dawn in a new era where all could live freely and equally. Many countries joined his cause, bearing the mark of the sun in their emblems as proof of their allegiance. Joy Boy made a promise to all of them that he would one day usher in the dawn of the world. But Joy Boy would eventually be betrayed by his own wife, the queen of the kingdom, Umi. Which backwards spells Im, or Imu, if you want to say it fully. Umi is a common Japanese name which translates to sea. She grew apart from the ideals of the man she once loved, believing the world had to be ruled by a single responsible and strong entity. She thought only she was fit to lead it, wishing to achieve so by becoming the king of the world. To achieve such strength, she gave birth to powerful weapons that would grant abilities capable of bending the genetic code. She was the progenitor of it all, the mother of all devil fruits. However, Umi gave Joy Boy the chance to rule by her side, by offering him to eat the fruits together. Joy Boy refused, begging her to stop, but the temptation of power was too strong, and Umi bit into the fruit. This turned her,
once a beloved monarch into the very image of the devil. People began calling her the Sea Devil. Joy Boy opposed her by forming the faction of the Dawn, those who wanted a world that was free. Those who were led by Joy Boy, as well as two of her children, Poseidon and Uranus. They were led by Joy Boy, as well as two of her children, Poseidon and Uranus. Many of his allies joined him, including the Kozuki clan, the Minks, the Fishmen, the Shandians, the Kuja, and the Sorbet alliance among them. On the other side was the faction of Dusk. Let me just pace myself real quick so I can read through this without flubbing up words, because I'm noticing my eyes are following ahead of what my lips are actually saying. My apologies. On the other side was the faction of the Dusk, those who desired a world ruled by the strong. They were commanded by Umi and her daughter Pluton, who had betrayed her father as well. Umi offered her fruits to the rulers of 20 countries, who all craved and envied the power Joy Boy held, desiring it for themselves. A long, arduous war was waged, which culminated in a final siege at the kingdom's home island. I gotta take a break, you guys. I really do. I gotta eat this food. I gotta eat it. Talks amongst yourselves, but this is my intermission right here. I've been going on for 2 hours. I've been going on for 2 hours, but I gotta eat this food. I can't just let this sit here. I gotta eat it. It's not fair to those who cooked it for me. I hope you guys don't mind, but I gotta do this. We're on the last chapter. I hope you guys can hold out. If you guys got to take a break and do something in the meantime while I eat, then go ahead. But I'm going to do this. I think I can seal it up. I don't want to lose too many of you all at once. Alright, it's sealed up. It'll stay hot until I'm done. It'll stay hot. We're getting to the halfway point. We're just now getting to the halfway point. A long, arduous war was waged, which culminated in a final siege at the kingdom's home island. Joy Boy and Umi engaged in a long confrontation where both sustained lethal injuries. But alas, it was too late. Umi unleashed her full powers to summon a great storm, sinking the island beneath the waves. And yet, with his final breath, Joy Boy uttered these words. These are things that can't be stopped. Inherited will, people's dreams, the destiny of an era. As long as people keep searching for the meaning of freedom, these things will never cease to be. This passage came to be known as the Will of D. It was a prophecy. Joy Boy told Umi that he would not die and that one day, 800 years into the future, his will would be inherited to bring the world to its dawn. Umi was outraged by such a declaration, vowing that if Joy Boy ever returned, then she would do so as well, to put a stop to his actions. He would not die?
What does that mean?
Think of will as the same as hockey. And Im just hockeys up. Hockey is the physical manifestation of our will, bending reality around us. That's basically what it is. You are literally bending the fabric of reality around yourself for it to do different things. So when one's willpower defies natural boundaries, it can bend anything, even forego destiny itself. What Joy Boy must have meant is that his will was so strong that it would remain even after death, and that one day, after 800 years, he would return to the world in a new vessel. Think of it like reincarnation. Joy Boy would return to bring the dawn, but Umi would return as well to stop him. That said, before she passed away, Umi took over the kingdom and reformed it into the world government. She entrusted the government to the 20 rulers who assisted her, asking them to never forget her and to await her return in 800 years. These rulers venerated her almost as if she was a goddess, calling her Mother Sea, and enshrining her body in the holy mausoleum of an island they named God Valley. However, the celestial dragons disobeyed her wishes. While they viewed her as their god, worshipping her like one, they were also scared of her inhuman power. They shared her ideals of privilege, but wanted it all for themselves. They saw Umi, and by extension Joy Boy, as their natural enemy, afraid that if they ever returned, they would bring another storm just like the one she unleashed. As such, they began a great act of censorship. They hunted down all those related to the kingdom and erased all knowledge of what transpired in the past century. But the survivors of the kingdom took measures to counter this purge of information. They decided to pass down the initial D to their descendants, so that Joy Boy's will would never be forgotten.
The government has become too great of a power. We must close our borders. Run away from here, Toki. Run away into the future. Go and see it with your own eyes. The day the world will be turned upside down. The day the new Joy Boy will bring us the dawn.
So the father of Lady Toki from the Wano country is telling her this. Interesting. That answers what you asked of me. Bit my tongue. That answers what you asked of me, King Cobra. Now for what I want from you. It relates to the 3 ancient weapons, Joy Boy and Umi's children. According to legend, every 800 years, 3 children are born bearing a particular type of observation haki. Said legend claims the 3 behemoth species of the world recognize this haki as that of their leaders, the 3 dragon gods. Uranus could lead the Sky Kings, colossal elephants that towered high into the skies. Though because of a certain crime one of them committed, almost all of them went extinct, except for Zoe. Poseidon could lead the Sea Kings, the enormous leviathans that lurk in the oceans. And finally, Pluton could lead the gigantic golems known as the Earth Kings, living islands with humanoid figures made of indestructible rock. Regarding Poseidon, she had married the crown prince of the fishmen in a political union, earning her the title of Mermaid Princess. Joy Boy promised her that he would help her people emigrate to the surface, to all live under the same sun. He even had an ark built to help emigrate, but alas, this was a promise he was not able to fulfill before his death. Tell me, do you know the name of this world?
The name? I thought our world had no name.
Yes, it was also lost in the government censorship, becoming no more than a legend. But our world was once known as the endless stretch of sea, the planet all blue. However, during the war, Poseidon used the Sea King's powers to move currents and create a barricade. A veritable maze of currents that would separate the enemy's forces. She asked the Sea Kings to protect the sides of this current, as well as her homeland. It is for that reason that the Sea Kings never attack Fishman Island, but will pursue any ships that approach it. But her sister Pluton caught wind of her plan and decided to create a barricade of her own around the devil fruit tree. She made the Earth Kings merge into a colossal wall she called Tartarus. It also gives reason to how the wall Maria was built because of the colossal titans. These became the Grand Line and the Red Line, but since both weapons died, no one could undo their actions. Which is why Joy Boy had to wait 800 years to unify the world and accomplish his dream. The shipwrights of Water 7 built a colossal ship as a countermeasure, one with cannon fire powerful enough to destroy the Red Line. Since this counterweapon was also often referred to as Pluton, many legends incorrectly referred to it as the original. But it was simply a weapon made to counter the real Pluton, even if it was destroyed before it could fulfill its purpose. I tried to attain its blueprints some years ago through the Cipher Pole, but they were not able to retrieve them. Though the only reason I wanted them was to destroy them so no one could counter the real Pluton. And that is precisely where you come in, King Cobra. Because Pluton has remained hidden in its country of origin, Alabasta.
Wait, what?
And then it cuts back to Crocodile trying to find out where it is.
Where on this island resides the world's most fearsome military weapon?
The original Pluton married into the Nefertari clan in a political union, and the current Pluton is your daughter, Nefertari Vivi.
It can't be! You must be lying!
The Nefertari clan was one of the 20 families who assisted Umi in the war. In other words, they betrayed Joy Boy. However, given the celestial dragon's fear of those who once associated with the kingdom, they rejected the Nefertari clan. They banned them from entering the Holy Land, so they had no choice but to choose to remain on the surface. Afraid of persecution, the Nefertari clan erased all knowledge of Pluton, refusing to pass it down to their descendants. It is said they even located the poneglyph about Pluton and hid it somewhere where no one could find it. Your duty is to protect this stone. Don't make me laugh. And this is back when Robin was asking Cobra about it.
That's why. But then, what do you have to do with all this?
Do you recall what I said about Joy Boy and Umi? That they would not die? And return to this world by traveling through 800 years? The prophecy was true. Joy Boy's will was inherited by none other than Goldie Roger. But just as foretold, Umi's will was also inherited to put a stop to him by Roxy Zebek. 38 years ago, the two clashed just as it was once foretold, but Zebek was defeated and could not stop Roger from reaching the final island. However, Roger had realized he was too early. Despite finding Joy Boy's treasure, the ancient weapons needed to restore the world back to its former state had not been born yet. Roger resigned himself to his inability to carry out his ambition and gave himself in to the Marines. I had him executed, to set an example to any who would dare attempt the same he once did. We made sure his bloodline was extinguished as well, even going to war to achieve this, all to ensure his will would disappear. And then it cuts to the execution of both Roger and Ace. But despite all our efforts, Joy Boy cheated death once more and found himself a new vessel. A former crew member of Roger, Monkey D. Dragon. He is not aware of his identity yet, but he has already been subconsciously trying to eradicate the system Umi built. It is evident now that the only time I'll be able to eliminate Joy Boy will be on the Day of Promise. Otherwise, he will keep reincarnating. Only at the time of our fated clash will I be able to eradicate him for good. However, there was something Joy Boy had not anticipated. Zebek had desecrated Umi's grave and attained God Valley's national treasure, her devil fruit. One that can steal abilities from other users, the almighty water fruit, Mizu Mizu no Mi. After he was defeated, Zebix used his powers to sink the island, allowing him to escape. He made the world believe he disappeared, but that was simply to let him act from the shadows. He presented himself to the 5 elders, threatening them with his powers and not— oh, I know where this is going. Threatening him with his power and knowledge. Afraid of him just like they feared Umi, the elders offered him all the power he desired, just to save their own skin. And at that point, the man known as Zebek died, and I ascended as a new being. I am Im, the king of the world, and the reincarnation of the sea devil Umi. Thanks to the perennial youth operation I once undertook, I have been biding my time in amassing power. King of the world, Im, formerly known as Rox D. Zebek. I am the one who will fulfill Umi's ambition and crush Joy Boy for good. And then I'll lead a purge on the world to cleanse it from those unwilling to work under me. And then it shows Vivi being restrained by his water fruit. Which is where my request for you comes in. Whether she wants to or not. Just as she once served under me, I'll make Plutana sense me once more. What a twist! That's nasty. Vivi! Keep your hands off her, you fiend!
Let me go!
Oh, you misunderstand. Pluton isn't what I desired from you, as she is already in my grasp. I need her to awaken, which only happens under emotional pressure. So what I want from you is your life. Farewell, King Cobra. And using his water abilities, he skewers Cobra multiple times. Awaken, Pluton. Show me your true power.
Father, no!
And she cries out, and it starts to awaken everyone it starts to awaken the golems. All they hear is just a rumbling. It's the rumbling from Attack on Titan. It's essentially that's what's happening here. An incident of unprecedented scale took place. Meanwhile, in the Kamabaka Kingdom, pardon me, Captain Roger, it really is you. Oh, Dragon, long time no see. Oh, Dragon, long time no see. I'm trying to remember the voice that I gave Roger. Captain Roger, it really is you. Oh, Dragon, long time no see. How did I do his voice? Just let me take Odin for 1 year. Okay, there we go. Oh, Dragon, long time no see. 24 years ago, shortly before Roger's execution. You know, Dragon, even if I did get to that final island like I always dreamed of, I've realized that just getting there wasn't what my dream was all about. I suppose in the end I was too early. Someone will eventually surpass me and find the treasure in my stead. Is that what you meant about what you just told me? That thing about that man Joy Boy said he would not die? Who said he would not die? Yes, but don't take that too literally. It's not something like reincarnation or anything like that. Reminds me of that Rocks fella. He was completely deluded that he and I were both reincarnations of ancient beings. No, Joy Boy meant something different when he said he wouldn't die. Do you know when it is that someone dies? Dragon, it's when they're forgotten. Because even after someone passes on, our memories with them linger within us. Those people continue to live in our hearts. They inspire us, pushing us to pursue our dreams to this place. I think that's quite simply what Joy Boy meant with the Will of Dreams. That people's dreams never end. That it all means to live after death. That's all it means to live after death. For your dreams to not be forgotten. That's how Joy Boy's will crossed over 800 years. His dream was passed down, generation through generation. No matter how hard the government tried to make the world forget it, it cannot be stopped. So when the new Joy Boy is born and finally brings the world to its dawn,
It won't be because of their destiny, their lineage, or some dumb prophecy, but because it will be their honest dream. I'll use my death to let the world know of this dream. That way I won't die. My dream, the one that has been inherited from Joy Boy across the generations, will live on. The dream's to be the freest person in the seas. A dawning in an era that unifies the world as one, where anyone can explore it in an endless adventure. I suppose you could call that a romance dawn.
That was Roger's dream, his reverie. Return to the reverie, end. Wow. Yo, that was sick. That was sick. I love that. Afterwards, by Arthur. At the end of the day, one of this story's biggest themes, one that I'm sure will play a key role moving onwards with the main story, is that of reverie, or more specifically, dreams. Reverie means to daydream. After all, inherited dreams are what push all the Straw Hats, and you could say it's what pushed me to do this project as well. This project was phenomenal, Arthur. If anyone is able to get in contact with him, or I'll try and find contact with him, I'll try and let him know that this was amazing. I had dreamed of making a project like this for the past couple of years, and I'm really glad I was finally able to make it come to fruition. I love writing, I love the creation process of a manga, to build all these stories, characters, and developments, so no matter how grueling the workload for this might have been at times, I'm so glad I was able to make this dream a reality. And of course, none of this would have been possible without Gemini's help. I really can't understate how none of this could have happened if it weren't for her and her unbelievable work ethic. And I want to thank her for drawing this chapter's color cover specifically for me, since I'm such a massive fan of Final Fantasy VII. And don't ever shut up about it. Thank you so much. Anyways, I have many other dreams I want to pursue in life, so I'll keep running after those. So don't give up on your own dreams either, you hear me? Because people's dreams never end. And then we have one from Gemini. Wow, what a ride. This was seriously one of the biggest things I've done in my life, and it's been really fun to do. I've been always thinking of doing something like this, and to see it actually happening right now. Man, I would visit my past self and tell her you did it. I just want to thank everyone who has been supportive like you guys. You all really mean a lot to me. In all honesty, though, I would want to thank Arthur for this opportunity that he's bestowed upon me, because out of all the artists he could have picked to draw for him, he picked me. None of this would have happened without Arthur, and I'm not saying this while he's holding a gun behind my head, okay? This is genuine. He could have picked anyone, and the chapters would still do good. I appreciate all this love from you all and Arthur, and in the near future, I'll probably see if I can become a mangaka. I can go back to my webtoon now, though, since I'm done with this huge project, so you can check me out if you can check that out, so you can check that out if you want to. Thank you all so much once again, and thank you, Arthur. We're all nakama. Thank you for reading. I was surprised you didn't hear about it before. I have heard about it because I remember when Roger's Base, he read like one chapter of it. Now, I didn't watch that, but I heard about it, but I didn't give it too much thought. And then I would hear about Return to Reverie multiple times whenever, sometimes when people would talk about it, either in my chat or a long time ago. It's not something that has been very prevalent on my channel too much, but wow, to think that I've spent all this time and I never read through this at all. This was amazing. This was really amazing. Wow. The power of fans, right? It was just 6 chapters, but whew. Now remember, even though as awesome as this was, this is non-canon, this is a fan fiction, which means we can't expect not even a single iota of what has been made in any of these chapters to be official. But overall, this was amazing. I love this. This was really good. And I'm glad I was able to spend 2 hours and 30 minutes reading it to you guys. So it took me a while, but hey, it was well worth it. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is where I'm going to draw it here for a close. This was actually really, really good. I'm looking forward to, well, more One Piece related stuff, but this as a whole, just taking the time to read this, hey, this will be my One Piece thing that I do for this week as we wait for the next week's chapter. But this was really, really good. Thank you, Arthur. Thank you, Gemini. And thank you, everyone at the Library of Ohara, having this available for everyone to read. This was a phenomenal read. 10 out of 10. I would read it again, over and over again. It was amazing. I loved all of it. But that's all I got for you guys. That just shows how passionate One Piece fans are. Exactly. You never know just people's passions for things. It's just like they say at the end of it. Never give up on your dreams. Ever. Because people's dreams will never end. Those are words to live by. So that's all I got for you guys. Just keep pursuing your dreams. I'm pursuing mine, so that way I can do this all the time. All the time. From home. Not going out and working overnights, but doing this. That is my dream. And that dream will never end for me. So with that being said, this was amazing. I'm glad I was able to spend this time with you guys. Sorry if it took too long, but I just wanted to take my time and read through this. And I feel like I've put so many different voices. This is the longest I've done different voices for such a long time. And I'm glad I was able to do it. But ladies and gentlemen, this is all I got. Hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples.